Hi everyone, I am Elena and I am a sophomore student at Babson College. Today I'm here to share with you guys my personal experience with being at Babson in hopes to help you make a more informed college decision. So before we get into it, I just want to put a disclaimer that this is mainly from my personal experiences, and although I will be sharing 5 advantages and disadvantages of being at Babson College, please take it with a grain of salt just because it's relatively subjective still, and I'm incorporating my personal experiences and thoughts into all of these tips or advice. These should be data points to help you make an informed college decision, but also it doesn't represent the holistic view of what your experience is going to be like at a college, just because I am only one perspective, so please keep that in mind. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into the 5 pros and cons of being at Babson. And if I'm looking down, it's because I have my laptop here so that I don't forget any points that I wanted to say. I'll start from the disadvantages and then segue into the advantages of being at the school. So the first disadvantage is that Babson is a little bit far away from the city. It's a 20 to 30 minute drive, and if you don't have a car like me, it could be harder to get around. And what Babson offers is an Uber program that takes you to the nearby Trader Joe's, nearby CVS, and a few other places. And this semester, just very recently, we also opened up a new shuttle bus so that we can get to the city on a set schedule and also get back to Babson College with that bus. So with that, it should be a bit easier and more convenient for you to go to the city and explore different parts of Boston even without a car. But I think around 30 to 40 people here do have a car just because it grants you more freedom and you can move around more easily. Also considering the fact that we don't have anything that's walking distance in Wellesley. Second of all, this is a pretty small school, which means that everyone here knows of each other at least. Even if you don't know someone personally, you will most likely have mutuals with them. This also means that wherever you go on campus, there's always going to be someone who you know or know of. And so every single day, you're constantly saying hello or trying to small talk, catch up with different people. And if that's something that you enjoy, then that's perfectly fine. But if you do want some more personal space, or you just want to have a smaller circle of friends, then this can be harder just because of how tight-knit this community is. Third of all, our college structure is pretty flexible, which means that you can take a gap semester or gap period almost any time. For example, I took a gap semester right out of high school, and there's this thing called the January admissions program, and so every year around 100 students who chose to take a gap semester will be coming into school in January, so that you're not an individual just taking half a semester off and there's a whole group of people with you. However, in terms of the curriculum structure, it's more rigid because there are a lot of core requirements and required courses. There is flexibility within. For example, you can choose from a list of courses within the liberal arts category, but at the end of the day, they're not free electives. And so if you're considering coming here, I would suggest you to look on Babson's website and really understand how the courses and how our selections work so that your interests can align with the courses that you're choosing. And another thing is that if you want to come to Babson, you do want to make sure that you want to get into business because there are no other majors here. We're not a university with different majors such as computer science, engineering, arts, photography, and business. Over here, it's strictly business and entrepreneurship. So if you want to transfer, then you'll have to transfer to another school instead of just to another major. Alright, so fourth of all, the dining hall food here can be slightly controversial, and I'll insert a few photos so that you guys can see what I eat on a daily basis. Personally, the food doesn't necessarily give me the most energy and fuel, and it doesn't just make me feel the best with my digestive system. And what I do to try to solve this problem is that sometimes I'll DoorDash or I'll cook food for myself. And that's what most students here do as well. Although I do know some people like the dining hall food, it could be a small challenge for some people, and that's just one of the things that I have to compromise. Last of all, again, because we're a business school, sometimes it can feel like most people have a similar personality or that extroverted vibe. So if you're more introverted, you might find a slightly harder time over here making friends, socializing. Also because for our courses, we have so many group projects and so many presentations that just challenge us to present ourselves in front of other people, to learn how to sell ideas, which does enable us to enhance how we are perceived in society when we go out there into the real world. But if you are more introverted and you just want more personal space and alone time, then please keep what I said in mind. Alright, let's dive into the 5 advantages of being at Babson. First and foremost, there are countless entrepreneurial opportunities and a really great alumni network. We have tons of pitches, tons of networking events, and general business events and speakers coming to Babson every single week, so that if you are running your own business or you're trying to get into finance, into marketing, there's just a lot of resources outside of courses to help you gain these industry skills and knowledge. And in terms of the alumni network, because we're a small school, the alumni network still stays very tight even after you graduate, so you can consider this as a lifelong connection, network, or family that you have. For example, when I went to San Francisco last semester, I decided to hit up 4 or 5 Babson and ETAL alum, and every single person has responded to me, and we ended up getting coffee and having a chat. So you can get that type of connection and network not only in the US but all around the world, which leads me into the next point of Babson being very international. So we have around 30% international students on campus here, and the first question you ask when you meet someone is usually, where are you from? It means that we can learn a lot about different cultures, languages, beliefs, practices, and everything in between. So I think that it makes me a more well-rounded person, and it makes me understand more about other people, makes me more knowledgeable as a global citizen. The third advantage is that you can always find someone who's interested in something similar to you, and you will never feel like you are on this career path alone. Whether that's in operations or sales or startups, there's just a ton of career opportunities for you to explore. Fourth of all, we have 4-day work weeks, and this is a huge plus of being at Babson. If you really want to, you can even stack your courses into only 2 days per week, which leaves you with 5 days of free time to work on your own venture, any side projects, or just discover yourself professionally. And this is one of the things that I think all Babson students love the most about the school. So we have every Fridays off, and with Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's a ton of time for you to do something or work on something full-time outside of school. Last but not least, because we are in a suburban area, the campus is extremely safe, and we have what I call a closed campus, which means that there aren't other buildings or schools or stores scattered around. So Babson is in a closed area, and unless you're here to visit someone, no stranger really comes onto campus, which means that it's really safe to walk back to your dorm at 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning, and you will never feel unsafe or uncomfortable on campus at any point. So these are all the pros and cons of being at Babson. I feel like I have so many more points that I wanted to mention, but unfortunately I just can't include them all in this one video. So please let me know if you would like a part 2 or you have different video ideas for me. If you have any questions about the school, please comment down below and I'll try my best to get back to you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys soon!